Welcome to Kingdom Mindset. I'm Deborah, and today with me on this episode, I have the pleasure of having Sam Wealth. He's an artist. You can listen to his music on all platforms. You can follow him on Instagram at Sam Wealth, and he's also a software engineer. So, on today's episode, we'll be discussing on understanding God's will for our lives. So, hi,
Thank you.
you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, many people find God's will. We're just going to jump right into the question. So, many people find God's will confusing. What does God's will mean to you personally?
For me personally, God's will means the thing that He wants me to do, the thing that He created me for, and basically His commandments, like what pleases Him, that the right things that He wants me to do that are good for me, that I know they're also good for me. Because I know God's will, leads to better things than following my own will. So basically doing what God would rather have you to do, rather than you following your own way or doing whatever you want to do.
Okay, thank you. So I have another question to ask you about a follow-up question on that. So we all believe that, so many of us believe that God's will is fixed. Do you think it's fixed? Do you think it has been changed? Or does it give a free will to do what you want to do?
I think God's will is fixed, but we all have free will, so it's up to us to decide if we're gonna do God's will or not. But I know that if you do God's will, there's benefits that comes with it spiritually and also physically. You might not know it, but you might not know the benefits, but they're actually. So we all have free will to do stuff and not to do stuff, to do right and do evil. So I mean, even with whatever you're dealing with, it doesn't have to be between right and evil. As far as you're following, you feel like you're doing the right thing, and you know that this is what God would want, then you doing whatever you want to do. And also, for example, let's say you want to get a job or go into the job market, and you're looking for a new industry to get into. Instead of you doing your own thing, just applying to jobs and picking where you want to apply to, it's good to ask God and know what His will is. God can tell you to go to a particular company where you succeed better, or He could tell you, hey, you're wasting your time, do something else. So yeah, it could change. Yeah,
okay, so I'm gonna ask you a question on what you just said. So are you saying that some people have a desire to want to be, for example, a doctor, and now they find themselves in a different field? So is it that what they desire before wasn't God's will for them, and now they because some people don't even pray, they just switch to another field? So are you saying everybody prayed before knowing God's will for them? Or is there any other? So is it like it's not? So it's something that can just change when you ask God, or you can just go ahead and just feel like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. This is what I want to do, and I just feel that what I want to do now is God's will.
Yeah, I believe that God's will is already predestined, because before He created you, He had a thought about you and everything that you would do. So that's His will for you. Basically, what He created you for, everything He thinks you're gonna do or He wants you to do. Sorry, can you finish that question again?
Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, so practically, how can someone know if a situation is God's will or not?
You, by prophecy, by prayer, and hearing from God Himself. And when I say prophecy, God could, when you pray, God could send people to you, like prophets or pastors or somebody come tell you, and you would know that's from God, because you've been praying about it. But basically, if you want to know, you can pray about it. You won't just know.
Okay.
You could have a feeling, but you might not be sure, and feelings can be deceiving as well. So it's better to pray and know spiritually, and God will answer your prayers. You can send somebody, you can show you in a dream.
Okay. So now you're sounding like a pastor. Okay. So for someone who isn't a Christian and is trying to understand the situation, like, okay, so this situation is in God's will, because now for you as a child of God, you're able to know that you need to pray to understand God's will, to know that situation you find yourself is God's will. But for someone out there that isn't a Christian or doesn't know God yet, so how would they know that situation they are is God's will, or
I think it's also what I think it depends on what we're talking about, in the will, in what aspect. Like, are we talking about, and like getting into a different opportunity, getting into opportunities, or just doing daily actions, or, oh gosh, should I do this, should I do that, or, oh, I really want to buy this house, should I buy that, is it your will for me to buy that house, or this and that. But I feel like God has put things in us, in our hearts, so if you're not a Christian and you don't pray or anything, I would say what you feel, it's whatever you feel comfortable with, that inside of you, that gives you peace. If it brings you peace, and you feel comfortable with it, and let's say you have passion for it, and it's just peace as well, I feel like it's an intuition thing and a heart thing. So if you feel it inside,
all right, thank you so much, Ariel. Thank you for your time. So any final thoughts for anybody out there? Because what we're doing is understanding different people's opinion on a particular topic. So is there any final thoughts for you on this very topic, understanding God's will for our lives?
I think there are so many, if you look into the Bible, there's so many things that God already wants us to do, so if you want to understand God's will for your life, you need to seek God. You need to seek Him wholeheartedly, and He will show Himself to you, and He will show you great mighty things, and He will show you His will for your life. And, then it's up to you to decide if you want to follow His will or yours, but following His will leads life.
All right, thank you so much, Ayo. Thank you for spending your time with us. We appreciate. And for you all viewers, thank you for your time, and we hope to catch you up on our next episode. See you guys. Thank you.